What's going on, guys? Casey here. Today I'm going to be showcasing my Breena the Demagogue Pillow Fort deck. I find this really fun. I've been playing it a bunch here at my LGS here in Chico, but I also play it sometimes in SAC. I play it a little online. This is overall just a really fun deck. You can build it in so many ways. You can play Voltron, Politics, Pillow Fort. You can even add a little chaos element to it. So I thought I'd kind of showcase this off. One little disclosure, it has a lot of expensive cards in it, but a lot of the cards that are pricey you don't need, like an OG Dual Land, have an Academy Rector in here. So keep in mind these things are not very important to the deck. I just am fortunate enough to have them. I slapped them in. And with that being said, let's get on into it. So on our face, we have Breena, the Demagogue, one white and a black for a 1/3 flyer. And her effect reads pretty weird, so I'll just kind of go over it. Essentially what it says is if someone attacks one of my opponents, let's say I'm Casey and I have 3 opponents, if one of those people or me attack an opponent that does not have the lowest life, they get to draw a card, and I, the controller of Breena, get to put 2/1/1 counters on her. This is really fun in that it has like a Monarch-esque effect to it, where it pretty much incentivizes people to attack each other for card advantage, which is nice because when everyone's attacking each other, the life totals are naturally going to drop. So I thought she was perfect. This ability to put counters on her doesn't target, which I really like. That's what made me go to her. And she's a flyer, and she gets big really quickly. For the 2 planeswalkers, I picked Karn. He's kind of political in that you can give people 2 options to give you. If you are working together with them, they'll give you the one you want. Even if they don't give you the one you want, his -1 will give you that, and then his -2 also gives you tokens. Soren, he's a little mean. You just drop someone to 10 if they're messing with you and you don't like what they're doing. I don't know, I just thought that was really cool. Just to be like, kill this guy, drop him to 10, and then you can kill him with Breena. Academy Rector, already kind of talked about. He's not very needed. I just have Academy Rector in just because I have one, and there's a lot of really good enchantments. Confidant's another one you don't really need. It's just good card advantage early. But I also like it because it comes down early, gives you advantage. Esper Sentinel is very crucial in this deck. A 1-drop that you can play that actually gets better with your commander's ability is really nice. The +1/+1 counters on Breena can go onto any creature, and so giving it to Esper Sentinel actually makes the cost of his ability for other players higher. So after someone attacks, you make him a 3/3 and then a 5/5, they'd have to pay 5 mana at that point just for a non-creature spell, or you draw a card. So he's actually just an all-star. Flump's also cool because it's a 0/4 that comes down early, and it has a card draw element to it. By making them attack you, you can block it, and then you each can draw a card, which is really cool. Keen Duelist is like Dark Confidant, except for it can go to either player, which I think is really cool. You pick 2 people and essentially you both confidant. Keeper of the Core is just a good white kind of ramp staple. Mangara is really cool because it says this is more of the Pillow Fort side where it's saying don't touch me, or if you're doing a lot of stuff then I'm gonna draw. Palace Jailer adds the Monarch. Don't really need to explain that very much. Saracen's a broken 1-drop. You might want to take this out of your deck realistically, just because it's going to make you a big target if you drop it early. But having this and then Breena on turn 3, you're dealing so much damage, and you can just make it even bigger. That, like, if you want to just win quick, Saracen's great. Shadrix is awesome. It has another political element to it where you give them stuff, and you can also give yourself something. And a flying double striker is pretty good. Tymna's great because it's another Breena-esque effect where if you hit people, you draw cards. I love Tymna. Wandering Cake's really nice because it sits there, and every time someone plays a spell, you essentially can copy if they don't pay to. You can make deals with this, where if someone plays a draw card, they can let you have it. It also helps with stopping counter spells, which is pretty crazy, because if they don't pay for their counter spell, then you get to counter their counter spell. As well as board wipes, you can copy a board wipe, so it means that the first board wipe won't probably get countered, because there's now 2 on the stack. Windboard Muse, it's ghostly presence on a creature. Council Judgment, I like this for the politics side. You get to vote, and if you do it correctly in the most optimal way, you can hit 3 or 4 things on the board. 2 to 3 to 4. Dam is awesome. It's just another board wipe. Demonic Tutor. I like to play with tutors in my decks. I think being able to search for a card that you need is fine. I'm not a big stickler on it. I'll discuss this probably in another video about these. Fragmentize. I think this is a sleeper. Artifact Destruction and Enchantment Destruction in white. Tutor, same thing. Sign in Blood. I only really play because it says target players, so you can help other people out. Steel Shaper's Gifts gets you your Swiftfoot boots and a few other artifacts that I'll kind of show that are equipments. Toxic Deluge, another great board wipe. Wrath of God, the generic basic board wipe. Disenchant, Destruction, and Lightning Tutor is, again, it's another tutor. I think there's some important things you can search, but if you don't like to play with tutors, it's an easy pull out. Flawless Maneuver is great. It's the white version of the free spells from Ikoria. I like protecting my commander. Once she gets really big, people want to kill her, so having a free protection spell is great. Mana Tie is just a funny counter spell I like to play in all my decks. Shout out to Chris who killed me with this card, stopping my Expropriate one time, and ever since I've put this in my decks. Path to Exile and Swords, those are great. Removal. Teferi's Protection, same thing, just leave me alone. I'm not a part of the scuffle, and the tutor again. Play a lot of artifacts. I actually didn't realize how many I have, but you have a Signet. Bossless Collar gives you lifelink, which is nice. Bloodthirsty Blade. This is one of the ones I like to search with Steel Shaper's Gift because it goads somebody's creatures, so it forces them to attack, and they can't attack you, which is nice for commanders that like to sit kind of back and not do much, as well as it triggers Breena because they have to attack, and if they have to attack an opponent, so unless they're attacking the lowest person, which you're okay with because it kills them, then you're getting more Breena triggers, which is really cool. Crown of Doom is another really cool one. Whenever a creature attacks you, a planeswalker you control gets +2/+0 until end of turn, but you pay 2 mana and you can give it to someone else, and then that person can give it to someone else, but it can never come back to you as the owner, which is cool. Expedition map's nice. It searches for Maze of Ith and Core Haven. It can search for Reliquary Tower too, I guess, in some instances. Lightning Greaves make Breena untargetable. Mana Crypt, you don't need this at all. I just have one and it's in the deck. Mind Stone, great ramp. Orzhov Signet, great ramp. Shadow Spear is really nice because it gives lifelink and trample. And it has that 1 mana ability where I can remove hexproof and indestructible from people, which is crazy to me because you have a lot of removal. Soul Ring, stable. Spectral Searchlight, it's kind of more on theme. It's not a very great rock, but you can politically use it to give people mana, which is cool. That's why it's in here. Swiftfoot Boots, same thing as the Lightning Greaves. Sword of Feast and Famine, I'm probably going to pull this out, not because I don't think it's powerful, but I think it just puts you on a threat meter too high, and you're not tapping that much mana at a turn where you need to untap. Talisman, great ramp. Thought Vessel, great ramp. Victory Chimes is basically the Searchlight, but it untaps on everyone's turn, so then you can be kind of the group hug guy and give everyone mana. And then Bobble's another great ramp. Bitter Blossom, I like Bitter Blossom, just gives you tokens. You don't play a lot of creatures in the deck, so you want something that's just going to give you good creatures every turn to block with. Court of Ambition makes the Monarch. Court of Grace makes you the Monarch. I love Monarch cards, especially in a politic game like that, because once someone takes the Monarch from me, I'm still going to get the benefit of having these cards out, but then someone else is going to attack the person with the Monarch, which is going to trigger Breena and also kind of shift the Monarch around. So a lot of damage is coming out in these games. Curse of Disturbance, everyone make a zombie, I want that person dead. Duelist Heritage gives double strike, great with Breena, also great with other people when you're trying to politic and kill somebody. Ghostly Prison, that's the Pillow Fort side. Kuskin Falls, I've never seen this card before until I added it. It's basically the black version of Ghostly Prison, but you also have to tap a creature on your upkeep or it dies. So not as good, and it's 1 more mana, but in white and black without blue, you're a little restricted on those effects. Light Attacks, just a good staple. I don't really need it very much. Luminarch Ascension's awesome in this deck. Because everyone's attacking each other for card advantage, or because you're playing Ghostly Prisons and your Pillow Fort cards, they're not going to attack you or have the ability to attack you, which makes this card that much better because you're always going to get those counters on it early to give you the angels, and then you could just run away with the game with all the angels you're dropping. Decree, it's again another Monarch card, I love it. Necropotence I want to take out because it's another high threat card, but this is great card advantage if you need it. Phyrexian Arena, I like it. I like just incremental card draw each turn. Season of the Witch, this is my favorite card of all time right now, other than, like, it's definitely my top 5 for sure. So Season of the Witch is triple black. At the end of each player's turn, all his or her untapped creatures that could have attacked but did not are destroyed, and you have to pay 2 life on your upkeep. Basically, this makes it to where you can't just sit and not attack with your creatures. They either have to tap, or they have to leave the battlefield and come back, or they have to have a restriction of why they cannot declare an attack. So normally they can't attack you because of ghostly prisons and whatever, but they still have to attack other people unless they can tap it, or those people have an ability that says they can't attack them, or it will kill their creatures, which is super cool. This speeds the game up a lot when you play it, because I'm losing life as well as everyone else is, like, has to attack each other. They can attack me, but it's usually not advantageous because I'll either I'm giving them card draw anyways, or if I have the Pillow Fort cards, they can't touch me, so they have to hit each other. So this works really well with the Pillow Fort cards. I absolutely love this card. It's like one of my favorite. Smothering Tithe, staple white card, and Sphere of Safety. You play a decent amount of enchantments, so having 2 or 3 enchantments out all of a sudden makes it like really hard to attack. And having Sphere of Safety plus a Ghostly Prison makes it 4 off the bat, so like no one's attacking you. I will say, if you're in a play group where attacking is not the win con, this deck might not be that great, but you kind of shift the game into where it does become a win con, which I really like. And then lands, Arcane Lighthouse, you have a lot of single target removal. Pathway, they're basically just all like dual land type cards that give you 2 different forms of mana. Core Haven and Maze of Ith are 2 all-star lands, and that they help prevent damage, so you can save other people as well as yourself if you're going to take damage and die. And we got Plains, Reliquary Tower. You actually do draw a lot of cards, because if you have Breena plus your regular draw plus a Confidant and some other esque effect, usually you're always discarding to 7 each turn, which is okay. It's not a big deal, but I like playing Reliquary Tower. You don't need this, obviously. Silent Clearing is nice, you can crack it for a card. Swamps, Tainted Field, Vault, and the War Room. I think this is also a very sleeper land. Paying 3 life, or paying 3 mana and 1 life to get a card, or 2 life because you're in 2 colors. I think it's just really good. And that wraps everything up. Honestly, if there's only 2 cards I think that I really want to add in this deck. I need to add No Mercy because it's another great Pillow Fort card in black. As well as I either want 1 more board wipe, or I want 1 high impact creature like an Elvish Norn or something that just puts you over the top strength wise. I don't think you need a lot of the ramp in this deck. I know the total here says $1,400, but that's assuming you have all the expensive cards and even the fancy version of the expensive cards. Realistically, this is probably going to run you maybe $500-600. But most of that's also being staples. The only cards that are like not staples that are specific to my deck that might have a high price point is Season of the Witch, being a reserve list card, as well as maybe Koskin Falls. I think it was like 20 when I got it. But everything else is like something you probably already have or should already have. If you don't play with tutors, it makes the deck so much cheaper at that point. Then you're looking at 3s with this deck. But I find this very fun. It's probably one of my favorite decks. I love Orzhov / Silverquill. It's my favorite. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys can, I would love if you could share this video with someone, whether you send it to a friend, tag somebody in the comments to watch it, post it up somewhere for other people to watch it. I don't care. Please, I really appreciate it. And I'm going to be doing a giveaway on my next Magic video. I think I'm going to do a giveaway on some packs for all the people that I see do some form of like networking. So keep on looking for that. And for now, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Have a great day.